In the late 1970s, a charismatic ex-Adventist named Roche Thériault declared himself Moses and convinced dozens in Quebec to abandon their lives, sever ties with family, and follow him into the wilderness to prepare for the apocalypse. They built a commune he derisively called the Ant Hill Kids, modelled on ants working tirelessly under his commands. Initially, the group sold preserves and syrup while living hand to mouth, but Thériault's sermons grew darker as he claimed divine power, forbidding members from speaking without permission and demanding all women bear his children, fathering over 20 offspring with his followers. Over time, his behaviour devolved into nightly torture. He would beat people with hammers, suspend them by their limbs, force them to break their own legs with sledgehammers, starve them for days, whip them naked as purification, and even perform crude amateur surgeries without anaesthesia, such as injecting ethanol into hospital-flush stomachs or circumcising children himself. Escape was terrifyingly rare. Dissenters were punished with disfigurement, hair removal, or defecation, and those who tried to flee were threatened with death or eternal damnation. The abuse extended to children. Some were nailed to trees, while other cult kids hurled stones. Some were held over fire. Others were sexually abused or forced to engage in violence against each other, all as part of twisted rituals of indoctrination. One follower, Gabrielle Lavallee, endured years of escalating brutality, 8 of her teeth broken or pulled, part of her arm chopped off with a cleaver, and worse, until she escaped in 1989 and went to police, detailing every horror she had lived through. Investigators descended on the remote Burnt River compound in Ontario and found the survivors, many disfigured or emotionally destroyed, including children born into violence. Thériault was arrested, charged with multiple counts including murder for the death of Solange Boilard, who after complaining of a stomachache underwent a horrifying operation involving molasses enemas, the removal of her intestines by hand, and finally a macabre resurrection attempt, where Thériault supervised followers drilling into her skull and ejaculating into the cavity, because he believed he could raise her from the dead. She did not survive. Thériault was sentenced to life in prison, yet even behind bars he corresponded with former followers and fathered more children before being stabbed to death in prison in 2011. Today, survivors speak of psychological scars, shattered faith, and a worldview forever warped by the terror they endured. The Ant Hill Kids cult remains a chilling example of how isolation, manipulation, and religious delusion can devolve into unimaginable cruelty and catastrophe.